Hey guys, this is Geek, and today I'm going to Samuel Ramble. Now I'm going to talk about Gamescom. First thing that I'm gonna get out of the way, the big thing, the PS3 Slim. I am going to tell you that price drop was the most brilliant thing ever. But I'm gonna give you the same answer if people keep asking me about which I think is better, Xbox 360 or PS3, which I would recommend a person. If you're gonna play online, get the 360. Period. I'm sorry. PSN is terrible. It's fucking terrible. I've never had so many bugs with the system. I've had less bugs with beta programs that I beta tested than on PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network itself feels like a beta program, and it's been 2 years, and they're still not the equivalent to the original Xbox slot on the 360. 2 whole years. I mean, it's bullshit that it wasn't from launch. They had a whole year to copy everything Xbox had. But it's terrible. If you're gonna play online, get a 360. It's just gonna be a so much better experience. Not only just because of the party chat, but the streamline invites, just the way everything works on Xbox Live is better. People who have both consoles and aren't biased towards Sony are going to tell you that Live is so worth paying for. It's just simply the best online service out of all three consoles. And I've barely had any problems on it in comparison to PSN. On PSN, I've lagged in every fucking game, at least 3 times. And on PSN, it's so hard to invite people. I don't know how many Marvel vs. Capcom games I've tried to have with people, and it would just fuck up. It's terrible. I just can't recommend it at all. I can't recommend PS3 online. However, if you're getting it for offline purposes, definitely buy the PS3 over the 360. I mean, the Elite's coming down to $300. It's going to be the same price, and you're going to get a Blu-ray player, and you're going to get, dependable hardware. So yeah, get the PS3 if you're going to play offline, but if you're going to play online, get the 360. Simply said. Now, one thing about this price drop is negative against Sony, though. Let's see. The PS3, $300. The 360, $300 and $200. The Wii, $250. The DS, $130 and $180. The PSP Go, $250. This thing is $50 less than the PS3. Are you kidding me? This thing is $50 less than the PS3. $50 more than the baseline Xbox, and the same price as the Wii. Are you serious, Sony? Drop the fucking price. First off, it doesn't make sense. The PSP Go is cheaper to make than the PSP 3000. It doesn't have a UMD drive, flash memory is very, very cheap, and not to mention, it has a smaller screen. So the entire PSP Go is much cheaper to make than the PSP 3000. Now, I gotta say that's the last part I'm ever gonna do on these console wars. Now, I'm just sick and tired of it. I have all 3 systems. There's no need to do it anymore, and it's become from an intelligent, semi-good debate to bullshitting out of their ass to get views, because that's honestly why people do console war videos now. Just to get views. Views. I mean, that's all it is. You ask any of these people, the majority of them aren't serious. They're just doing it to get views and get more popular. That's what 90% of these Trey Brotherhood people do, because they really don't give a fuck whether what console is winning or not. Because if they did, they would know that there's a lot of better things about the Wii and the 360 over the PS3. Just like there's a lot of good things about the PS3 over the Wii and 360. But they're closed-minded dumb fucks who want the sheepest fan base to, follow them. And that's it. So let's talk about the Xbox conference, which was basically the Fable conference. So first off, Fable 3. I think that's awesome. Because if you don't remember, spoiler alert, in Fable 2, you become the king. And when you become the king or queen of the village, in this next game, you get to dethrone yourself. That's pretty badass. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't wait for Fable 3 now. That sounds like such a good idea. I mean, I've been waiting for. I mean, they have a game on it on the Wii right now on WiiWare called I don't know, Final Fantasy King something. Then they have like a Dark King story coming out soon. And I was thinking about buying both of those. But now that I think about it, Fable 3 sounds a lot better. So I'm going to wait for Fable 3 on. Now they're also going to make Fable 2. They're going to chop it up into a bunch of different missions and make it so that you could, download parts of Fable 2 instead of actually buying the entire game. Which I think is good because, people need to experience it. They're going to... if it's like $5, I'll totally support it. But if these episodes are $10 a piece, yeah, it's going to be more than the retail game, and I'm going to call bullshit. So hopefully they're like $5. So if it's like $5 a mission, I think that's great. I think that's a brilliant idea because there are some missions in Fable 2 that I hated, and I would have rather bought it that way. And, it's going to be like Hasbro Family Game Night where you get achievements for those missions, and to continue forward, you're going to need to buy more missions, which I think is a good idea, as long as it's not over the price of Fable 2. Now, as a lot of you know, I'm a huge video game magazine fan. I mean, I love video game magazines. I have a shitload of Nintendo Power, a shitload of EGM, a shitload of Tips and Tricks, which has just gone down the shithole, OXM, all these different magazines. And I was reading through old EGMs, and I was starting to miss it until I saw this issue. You've got to be fucking kidding me. Watchmen: The End Is Nigh was a cover story for EGM. And not only that, not only was it a cover story, but it was a 1, actually that's 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 8, 10. 10 pages of bullshit for this shitty, beat-em-up, 2-hour piece of shit Xbox Live game that's $20. 10 pages! And reading back through it all, 90% of this shit was bullshit. And they try to make it look so good. I mean, if you read through this, the game is described like I would buy it if I read this article and I did not read any reviews or knew anything about the game. I would buy this. And there's an there's an interview with Alan Moore's mentor about the game. Zack Snyder did a whole fucking interview about this piece of shit game. And it was a cover story. If I had only seen this magazine, never read the reviews, never did anything, I would have bought this. Thank God I rented it. This was bullshit, EGM. This was fucking bullshit. This is the worst articles I've ever read because this game was so terrible. It's the worst Xbox Live arcade game, and I'm going to say that right now. Worse than Yaris, because I didn't have to buy Yaris for $20. Yaris was free. This is the most asinine piece of shit article I've ever read in my entire life. This is, let me see. What fucking month was this? EGM, what the hell is wrong with your thing? I guess I can take it from the side. November of 2008. Go check this out. Oh, this is December 2008. I'm sorry. December 2008. This is just fucking horseshit right here. Now that we're entering the 10-minute mark, I'm just going to say one last thing. I really want to congratulate, I'm sorry, I can't even talk today, Dan Amrich, because Dan Amrich, if you haven't known, is leaving OXM. But he is going to be the editor-in-chief of World of Warcraft magazine. And that is such a better job, Dan Amrich. And you're still writing articles for OXM, so I'm happy about that. I have no interest in World of Warcraft. In fact, I hate MMOs, and I might go into that sometime. But Dan Amrich, that was a great deal you got. Congratulations, man.